Thank you very much, examiner. That was really good, wasn't it? Yes, Josh. Good morning, beautiful people. It is your lucky day. Today we are doing a test route, a mock test route in Newcastle under Lyme. Now this test route is very much focused on dual carriageways and city driving. So watch this to get some serious tips for your driving test. So when the examiner comes out, they will first of all check your name and introduce themselves.
Hello, I'll be your examiner today. My name's Josh. What's your name?
Next is going to be the eye test.
Can you see what I see?
The eye test will consist of reading a number plate from approximately this distance. Make sure you can do this. Make sure your glasses are correct before arriving at the test. Otherwise, that will be an automatic test termination. Next, the examiner will sit with you in the car and they will ask you a tell me question, such as,
can you tell me how you'd know if there was a problem with the anti-locking brake system?
A warning light should illuminate on the dashboard if there is a problem with the anti-locking braking system. Now, all the answers to these questions can be found online. You can revise these very easily. Just check below in the description. You'll see the link there to the questions. Just click on there and have a look. If you get these questions wrong, it is only a minor. However, it makes you look a little bit like a donkey, so don't do it. And they might also be thinking, if that's how they've prepared for their show me tell me questions, how have they prepared for their driving test? First impressions, remember, let's go. Now, on the majority of driving tests, there will be a sat-nav part of it, normally between 20 and 30 minutes. For this driving test, I'm just going to use a sat-nav for the whole journey. This way, it gives you a better idea of where I'm going, and that's about it, really. Now, because the driving test centre is currently closed, I'm actually parked at the Chinese round the back. What I would do for a Chinese right now. Okay, let's start. So for your first 5-10 minutes, if you're anything like me and everyone else in the world, you're going to be pooing yourself. You're going to have nerves all over the shop. This is the most important time to take things really, really slowly. Be extra careful. Make sure you're doing everything correctly. There is no bonus points for speed. There is no bonus points for doing things quickly. Everything in this test is about safety. After 5-10 minutes, you're going to settle in just fine. It'll be like you're having a normal drive with your driving instructor. Let's go. So first things first, check those blind spots. Always check your blind spots. You can never check a blind spot too much. There isn't an exact number of times to check a blind spot, and you can't check them too much. If you haven't looked in your blind spot for more than a second, you need to be checking again. You can never check your blind spots too much. It's always having a regular information, building that picture.
Turn right, then
okay, so I know I'm turning right, sat-nav's told me I'm turning right, so I'll check the central with my right mirror, and I've popped my signal on.
Turn right,
going into the right lane.
Right.
Clutch is going down now, less than 3 car lengths away. I'm in first gear and it's clear. I've checked right, checked left, and I checked right again and left again. So we're off. Checking those mirrors straight away because I'm changing speed.
After 200 yards, bear right.
You can't really check your mirrors too much as well. Glancing in the mirrors never does any harm, and it's constantly building that picture up around
bear
you.
Right.
It's also very important that you listen to that sat-nav. Okay, you really need to make sure that you know what the sat-nav's saying. The sat-nav is the one that's directing you, so make sure you know what it's saying. Okay, so I know at the roundabout I'm going to be turning
After
right.
300 yards,
All right, Sally, calm
right
down.
On the roundabout.
Crikey.
Third exit.
So at the roundabout, I know I'm turning right, so I can already prepare for that. It's always about preparing ahead. Like chess, you always prepare 3 moves ahead. This is exactly the same. So the roundabout's coming up, so I check the central mirror, my right mirror,
on the
and the signal's on.
Third exit.
I'm dropping down to second gear nice and early, so I approach at the correct speed, and then there's less to do when I get there. It's nice and clear, so I'm continuing in the right lane, hugging the roundabout. Not too close, not on the drains, but but close enough to stay in the right lane. I'm checking my central and left mirror, and I'm signalling left after checking the blind spot. I'm coming off nice and smoothly. Now, it's really important that you take your time on these roundabouts, especially that one, because that's a very funny roundabout. It's not a particularly friendly shape, and cars can come at different speeds from those different junctions. You can come a lot quicker from other junctions on there. So yeah, so it's important that you're just very careful and you take your time. So down here, I'm looking at speed limit straight away. I can see it's 40 miles per hour. I know that the signs everywhere, but I know that because I'm down this road regularly anyway. So I am doing 38. The road's looks safe to me to be doing 40. It's not the end of the world. It's not trafficy. There's not lots of people about or parked cars. Simples. I am looking ahead. I'm still checking those mirrors. I'm building that picture, making sure I know exactly what's going on around me. Okay, so I can see there's traffic coming up ahead because we have some lights. So I'm dropping it into second. In my car, you can go all the way down to 10 miles an hour in second gear, so it's absolutely fantastic. So I'm looking at the sat nav at the moment. I'm just having a quick glance, and I can already see I'm going to be going left. She is going to give me a warning in a second, I'm sure.
After 300 yards, bear left and right.
But again, it's like chess, always preparing for the next move. That way, it's far easier to drive. You're far less likely to go wrong or get caught out. So I know there's cars on the left here, so I'm already checking my mirrors on the right, and I'm just edging to the right slightly. As I say, I use the word edging, like ice skating. I always say like ice skating, you don't need steering. So it's not heavy steering, it's very light steering. Bear left. Thank you. Okay, so I've got cars parked on the right, so I'm preparing for a meeting situation by staying nice and close to the curb.
Turn right, then go left on the
I already know I'm
roundabout.
going to be turning right at the light, so I'm checking those mirrors and I'm popping a signal on. I can see a car's coming, so I'm still staying on the left.
Turn right,
Once he's passed, I'm going into the
go
right
left
lane,
on the roundabout.
and we're nice and settled in the right lane. I'm slowing down and clutch goes down because I'm less than 3 car lengths away from the lights. Now this is what you should be doing in your head. On your driving test, you should be commentating. Even, it doesn't matter if it's out loud or in your head, this is how you make sure that you stay 3 moves ahead, like the chess, and it's also how you pass your driving test. I'm going into the left lane because I can see from the sat nav that I'm going left.
Go left on the roundabout. First exit.
I'm looking out for the zebra crossing. There's no one nearby, so I don't need to worry about that. Now I'm just slowing down and waiting for this car to go. And the car's gone, the roundabout's clear, so I'm continuing. I know at the next roundabout I'm going straight ahead, although it's a funny roundabout. Both lanes can continue straight ahead. So which lane should I be in? The left lane, because I don't know which way I'm going from there. And left lane is always the normal driving lane.
Cross the roundabout. Second exit.
Okay, so the roundabout's clear, so I'm continuing in the left lane. I'm staying on this side of the line. Now I'm signalling off, central mirror, left mirror, and a signal.
100 yards. Cross the roundabout.
So at the roundabout,
Second
sat nav has
exit.
told me 200 yards, I'm going straight ahead. Now it's looking a bit like a traffic jam here, a bit clogged up. So I'm taking my time, I'm dropping it into second. It doesn't seem like I'm going to be going anywhere, so I'm preparing to stop. I've checked my mirrors behind me to make sure it's clear. And I've given myself lots of space ahead. Tarmac and tyres, remember the tarmac and tyres, so important. If that car breaks down, it means I can get out. If that car rolls back, it means he's not going to hit me. If I need to go round him for any reason, I can do. Woo woo! Okay, so it's clear, so I'm continuing on. Central mirror, left mirror signal. And now I'm just matching the speed of the traffic, and I'm not looking at the car directly in front of me. I'm looking at the car at the very front, because like a snake, whatever the front does, all the cars behind will follow. So if the front car's stopping, I know that all these other cars are going to be stopping as well. This cheeky Tinkerbell. So, surprise, surprise, we have roadworks in Newcastle, as unusual as that sounds. So I've chosen not to use the handbrake here just because we're not stopping for very long. The lights were green, it was just taking time for traffic to actually start moving. If they'd stayed on red for any longer, then I would have used the handbrake. There is no bonus points for using the handbrake or not using the handbrake. It's just less risk if you do use the handbrake, because if you roll back even slightly, that examiner is very likely to just put the brake on and end the test. So I know I'm turning right very soon. Sat-nav does get a little bit confused here because they've actually changed the road layout and the sat-nav hasn't updated that. So I'm going to help her out and just skip the roundabout bit and just turn right. So I'm checking my central mirror, my right mirror, I can see the lights coming up and I'm signalling. I'm already dropping down to second because I'm now going to be slowing down and I don't want too much to do when I approach the lights. The lights have actually turned green because that's the sort of luck I've got. So I'm continuing. Make sure you stay on your side of the road. As you can see, there's lots of cars parked here, so I'm preparing for meeting traffic situations. I'm checking my mirrors, going around these cars. Because the van's gone, if there was any cars, they'd probably be waiting. Okay, yeah, they have chosen to wait. You can see from the positioning. Thank you very much. It is okay to wave to people on your driving test. Preferably keep your hand on the wheel. You don't need to wave at all. The examiner will wave if necessary. What you do not ever do is wave to someone to say go through. None of this or none of that or none of stop or anything like that ever. That will be a test fail. Okay, so at roundabout, sat-nav said turn left. Central mirror, left mirror, signal left. I didn't do it too early. I didn't do it too early because I had these junctions there and I didn't want to confuse the driver behind me. Really important you take your time. There is a guy here, so I'm just keeping an eye on him, and I've checked my mirrors before going around the vehicle because you always check your mirrors if your car changes direction.
After 100 yards, turn right. Then at the end of the road, turn right.
Calm yourself down.
Turn right.
Yes,
then
okay.
at the end of the road, turn right.
Bloody hell, that's like my wife. Okay, so this is looking a bit messy. As you can see, I've checked my mirrors. I'm already in second gear, so I'm at 10 miles an hour. I'm just carefully weaving between the vehicles. I know at the end of the road I have to turn right, but that still means I've got to get back on my side of the road, make sure I'm nice and tight on my side of the road. I'm going to go into first and roll to a stop because I can't see, and I've got this red vehicle parked on the corner, which isn't ideal and it's illegal. And you can see why, because I couldn't comfortably get on my side of the road while turning right at the junction. Again, I'm preparing for meeting traffic situations. I'm changing speed, so I check all my mirrors. I'm checking my mirrors again because I'm having to go down the center of the road here just to go around the vehicles. Whatever you do, if you're going around vehicles, especially in this sort of
100 yards, go straight on.
This sort of area, slow down. There's no harm in slowing down. All the examiner wants to see is you are a safe driver, a safe, competent driver. They don't want to see how quick you can do it. They don't want to see if you're Formula One. They want to see that you're safe. Okay, Crossroads, it's clear both ways. I rolled into first to a stop. I didn't particularly need to, but it's better to be safe and go slow and double check. Okay, I'm not going to lose points for that. I'm going to lose points if I don't check enough, or they feel I'm going too quick, or I'm not going to be safe on the road. Okie dokie.
After 100 yards, turn left.
Central mirror, left mirror, signal left.
Turn left.
Okay, I'm in second. I'm rolling into first because this is a closed junction. I cannot see. Okay, it's not clear, so I'm going to use the handbrake on this occasion. I'm setting my bike because it's so much easier to do. I've got the bike, it is now clear, so I'm going. I've stayed nice and tight to that corner without going over the curb and still on my side of the road. So I'm not looking at this van in front because I can't really see much of it anyway. I'm looking ahead, and that way, by looking further past the van and staying a bit further back, it means I know what's going to be happening. I'm not going to suddenly be surprised when the van slams its brakes on.
300 yards, turn right, then turn left.
Car's parked to the left, so I'm just checking my mirrors and edging out slightly, making sure I'm a door's width from those cars. You must always stay at door's width unless you can't. Unless you cannot, and under any circumstance, because this car's parked on both sides, in which case you should go super slow.
Turn right.
Red lights,
then turn
clutch down
left.
less than 3 car lengths away, and into first. I'm staying way back from that white line because it doesn't matter. As long as I don't go over that white line, that's all that matters. So we have a crossroads here, but it's traffic controlled. Okay, traffic light controlled. This means when it is a green light, depending on whether or not it's an arrow, a green arrow would mean go. A green light means go when it's safe to do so, when it's your right of way. And to be honest, my right of way is when everyone else isn't crossing my path. As long as I'm not crossing anyone else's path, it's fine for me to go. If I am crossing anyone else's path, I need to wait. Where do I wait? Do I wait behind the green lights or in the middle? Always in the middle. If the light goes green and you're at the front, you go towards the middle without blocking anyone else. Just like this. So the car ahead is turning right, so I wait in the middle without blocking him off until the right lane, until the other lane is clear. And I've just checked my right mirror again to make sure that's clear, and it is clear, so I am going straight into the left side of the road, and off we go to see the wizard.
After 100 yards, turn left.
100 yards, turn left. Gonna have to turn this heating down because it's getting a bit warm. Don't know if I'm gonna pass or not, see? The nerves are kicking in. Okay, so meeting traffic situation. I know this space, so I'm staying nice and close to the curb to give the other car plenty of room. Okay, and I am, it says turn right, you see. The sat nav's trying to trick me here. It says turn right, but it's not actually a turn right. It's a follow the road, continuous road, you see. So you've got to keep an eye on that. Don't always listen to the sat nav. If I had signalled there, it could have confused the other driver. He might have thought I was turning right. Hopefully just a minor, but still, you've got to be careful and make sure that the sat nav is up to date. Just listen to the sat nav. Make sure you're using your eyes as well, more importantly. So we've got a lovely road here full of cars, lots of meeting traffic situations possible. So I'm just preparing for those, making sure I'm looking ahead. The most important thing you can do when you're driving is looking ahead as far as you can and make sure you're at the appropriate speed. I'm doing 19 miles per hour down this road at the moment. I could even go slower than that, you know. But it is a nice, it is quite a wide road, even with cars parked on both sides. It's also a straight road, so I can see ahead nice and far. I know at the end of the road, I've checked the sat nav, so I'm turning left.
Turn left, then turn right.
So I'm checking my central mirror, my left mirror, and I'm signalling left.
Turn left, then turn right.
Oh God, look at this. Look at these cars parked everywhere. So you've got to
Right.
really prepare and keep your positioning correct. So central mirror, right mirror, because I know I'm turning right here. Okay, now there's a car parked right on that junction again.
After 80 yards, turn right.
Okay, and again, I'm checking my central mirror and my right mirror, and I'm signalling right.
Turn right.
I'm just going ever so slightly round this car, and I'm going to stay on my side of on the left side of the road this time. I was looking into the road. Did you see I was looking into the road first to make sure it was clear, there was nothing coming? It's always easier to drive when you're looking where you're going, believe it or not. I know it sounds simple, but it's, well, it is. So we have a crossroads. So I've rolled into first, it is clear. So I've checked twice, both ways, and I'm continuing ahead. I did roll into a first, and I did almost roll to a stop, just to make sure, because it was a closed junction.
Turn left.
Again, we have what appears to be another closed junction, so central mirror, left mirror, signal left.
Turn left, then turn left.
And I'm in for second. I'm rolling into first because I'm less than 3 car lengths away from Dow Junction. And we're off. Look at that. Big stop sign. Big stop sign says,
left, then
stop.
Turn right.
Central mirror, left mirror, signal left. I'm staying in first because there's no point. I am coming to a stop. And I'm pressing the brake gently and clutch down, and I'm stopping. So after this car, it's looking like I should be able to go, so I'm going. Now we have traffic ahead, so I'm staying in first, and I'm just gently rolling, following the traffic. Well, I say rolling, the clutch is up. I know I need to turn right here, so central mirror, right mirror, and signaling right. Now it's important you don't panic at this point and worry about blocking cars behind you. You're doing the absolute right thing. All you can do is stay nice and close to that line, keep your positioning right, brake and clutch down. That guy has flashed me, so I have gone. if someone flashes, it's up to you to decide on, are they flashing you or are they flashing somebody else. If they are flashing you to say go, that is absolutely fine for you to go, but you must make sure that it's clear. Don't just take their word for it. Okay, so we have a meeting traffic situation, so I'm just going around the van and I'm just pulling in to let this car go by. Plenty of room, look at that, and we're off again. Again, we've got another meeting traffic situation, but there's plenty of room, so I am just going to continue, but I'm constantly checking those mirrors because I just need to know what's going on around me at all times. I know at the lights because I've listened to the sat nav that I'm turning left at the Crossroads, so I've checked my central left mirror and I've got the left signal on. I'm rolling into first, less than 3 car lengths away from where I'm stopping. Boom. Shakalaka. Central mirror, left mirror, signal left. Green light means go. It did actually change to amber there, but I was already through the light. I don't know about that Nissan behind me, mind you. I think he was touching cloth perhaps, but there you go.
Ahead, keep right.
Okay, so I am just slowing down a bit because there's a car parked on the side of the road. I can see there's a green light, a red light, sorry, that is changing to amber and green, so I'm back on the gas. What's the speed limit? I'm not too sure, but I'm going to assume it's 30 miles an hour. Sat-nav says it's 30 miles an hour, but don't always listen to the sat-nav because sometimes they lie. No, but seriously, I've had too many students failing from listening to the sat-nav because they've changed the speed limit and the sat-nav hasn't updated. And that's the same with the sat-navs that you get from the examiners as well.
Right.
Do not always trust the sat-nav.
Right.
Use your noggin. Okay, central mirror, right mirror, signaling across into that lane. I did just check the blind spot because when there's 2 lanes going the same direction, I just want to make sure there's not a car sneaking up on my right. Again,
right.
Central mirror, right mirror. I don't need to check the blind spot this time because I'm very close to the curb, and I'd already checked a second ago. And we're following the road round. Now there's 2 lanes. Which do I go in? Stay in the left because it's a normal driving lane, and these merge. Now there's 2 lanes, so I do just check my mirrors there, just make sure there's nothing sneaking up on the right. And we're going onto a dual carriageway.
Yards, keep right.
200 yards, our lane should still, yeah, our lane continues in the left, so I don't need to worry, but sat-nav has said keep right, and I can see the right lane is actually highlighted, so I'm going to start to check on my right. So central mirror, right mirror, I've got up to speed in my lane. Really important that you get up to speed, and you check your mirrors and you check your blind spot repeatedly as much as you need to. But as you can see, I had plenty of time to get in there. I still could be in that lane. This is the last opportunity to get into this lane. So it's really important on that slip road you get up to speed. Now, all I've got to do on here is stay at the correct speed. The speed limit is 50 miles an hour. It's really important that you match the speed of the other vehicles. If the other vehicles are doing close to 50, then you should also be doing close to 50. Obviously, if there's traffic and everyone's doing 30, then you need to be doing 30. But if it is clear, you should be attempting to get reasonably close to the speed limit. It is also very important to be checking that central mirror, okay, regularly. Build that picture behind you, build that picture up all around you, okay? It lets you know if there's a slip road with cars coming on, you already know what's behind you, what's close, what's far away. Are you able to move across into the other lane? It's so much easier when you've got that picture built up around you. So for instance, there's a slip road going off here, which means there's probably a slip road coming on here. I can see there's a taxi on my right, a Mercedes coming up. I assume it's a taxi, it might not be. But it does just mean I'm aware, so I know I may have to slow down if a car wants to come on and we meet at the same time. You can already see, it's clear, there is no car coming on, so there's nothing to worry about. I'm in 5th gear, oh my god, 5th gear, woo!
Exit ahead.
Exit ahead, come on love, you got an hour and you got 1.25 miles to go, yeah? Ooh, 52, Josh. So a bit of education for anyone that did see that there. That was an average, that yellow camera there, that was called an average speed camera sign. Those work by, they will check every car that goes past, check their speed, and then the next one will also check their speed, and they will average it out. So it doesn't matter how fast you're going past that first one, it matters how fast you've been going from that first one to the second one. So if you're doing an average of 55 all the way, and then you try and slam your brake on just before you go through the second one, you're still gonna get screwed, essentially. Okay, it doesn't work like a normal speed camera sign.
After 800 yards, take the exit, then go right on the roundabout.
So this is the second average speed camera. As you can see, there's 2 of them. So there's obviously 1 for each lane. I need to get into this left lane, so I'm actually checking my blind spot. I've checked my mirrors and I'm moving across now. And I needed to do it quickly because there was a white car and he was wanting to speed up. So you've got to be careful of that, otherwise you'll end up having to go the wrong way, or slowing down on a dual carriageway, which you also don't want to be doing randomly if you can help it. I'm going to go in the left lane because you always go in the left lane unless you know otherwise.
After
of course,
200 yards,
she has asked me
on the roundabout,
to go right on the
exit.
roundabout and 4th exit,
Right on the roundabout,
A34.
4th exit.
I believe you can go in this lane. If you can, I'm going to continue. If you can't, I'm still going to have to continue the wrong way. Now there's 2 lanes here. Yep, it's absolutely fine. I'm going all the way around the outside of the roundabout and I'm staying in the left lane. Really important on these multi-lane roundabouts that you stay in your lane. That's all you have to do. All you have to do is just stay in your lane. That's it. Okay, the traffic lights tell you when to go and when not to go. So it's just a normal road. Okay, now I can hear an ambulance. So you treat that exactly the same as you always would, and that means get out the way if required. I'm checking my mirrors and he's obviously not going this way, so I don't need to worry. What's the speed limit here? I have no idea. What I do know is the rule is if there are... Oh, the ambulance is here. So I'm actually going to... There's 2 lanes, so I'm actually going to just stop here now, because I am not getting in the way. There we go. Double yellows or not, you get out the way. Without causing an accident to someone else, of course. Okay, so there is roadworks ahead. I need to change lanes, so I checked my mirrors and I checked my blind spot again. You can never check your blind spot too much. It's just a quick glance, and it's just to make sure the road ahead, that there is no one overtaking you. What is really important, however, is that when you turn, you don't turn your arms and shoulders as well, because that way you end up swinging your arm and swinging the wheel as well. That's really not what you want. You'll end up across the side of the road. So it is just a turn of the head. God, it's like a serial lane changer there. Okay, so sat-nav says 700 yards, I need to turn left. So what lane do I stay in? Stay in the left lane. What is the left lane for? It's for turning left and... Oh, there's a parked car there, so I'm actually going to go into the right lane here. Got to look out for that on the A34. There's always parked cars on the left of this section and further down. So you need to make sure you're prepared for that. If there is, stay in the right lane. There's no problem with that at all. Far better than getting trapped behind the car. Okay, so we have a traffic control crossroads. We get to the traffic lights. The bus is slowing down. I know I'm turning left, so I'm going to pop a signal on now. And I'm rolling straight into first. Again, make sure you're leaving lots of space between you and the vehicle in front, okay? As long as you can see tarmac and tyres, that should be absolutely fine. These are roadwork signs, so I'm going to use the handbrake here. Why not?
Turn left, then you have reached your destination.
It secures the car. It means if anything comes behind me or was to hit me in the rear, I'm not going to go anywhere and end up crashing into the one in front. It also means it's nice and easy to get the bite. If there's a slight hill, there's no risk of me rolling back at all. It's just all around easier. The lights have changed, so I've got the bite, handbrake's off as they've gone green, and I'm just gently keeping up with the bus's speed. Let him get up a little bit. going straight into second before the turning, so I'm nice and prepared. I'm using the appropriate speed to stay close to the curb to get all the way around that corner.
You have reached your destination.
And I'm turning right, so it's central mirror and right mirror. There's a central area here for turning right. And we're back at the Chinese, and the examiner has asked me, as my manoeuvre, to do a reverse bay park. Let's have a go. So to do this manoeuvre, what I like to do is have a little mark on the edge of the door and I line that up with one of the lines of the bay. This then allows me to fully lock the wheel, and it'll take me into the third bay from that line. Let's have a go. So into reverse, what do we do first? Most important thing you can is check the blind spots. So check all the way around the car. You can't check too much during this at all. I've checked all the way around. I am going downhill, so I'm just going to keep the clutch down and I'm going to just ease off the brake ever so gently. I'm checking those blind spots again, and I'm going really slow. The car says 0 miles an hour, okay? This is how slow you should be going, because all the examiner wants to see is you doing it safely. Nothing else. Safety first. Okay, and I've got that little mirror which just helps me, and I can see I'm going into that line beautifully. Again, I'm just checking those blind spots around the car constantly. Okay, I look like I'm in line with that car. The right mirror isn't quite showing that I'm straight though, so I'm just straightening that bad boy up a little bit more, and then I'm gently turning the wheel. How do you know how much to turn the wheel? If you get yourself confused at this point, easiest thing to do is just fully lock the wheel and think, how many turns is it to straight? Straight from a fully locked wheel is 1.5 turns. Half, 1. Wheels are straight. That's the same in any car. Then I'm just looking behind me, going really slow, and voila, we are in. Handbrake, neutral. Thank you very much, examiner. That was really good, wasn't it? Yes, Josh. This time, as I've got back to the test centre, the examiner has said, Josh, can you do a forward bay park for your manoeuvre, please? Okay, Mr. Examiner. So what we do is I've decided I'm going to forward bay park on the left side. Yeah, so I've decided I'm going to forward bay park on the left side there. So I'm staying nice and tight to the bays on the right. Then, about halfway through the bay before with a mirror, I'm just going to fully lock the wheel, to be honest. I can see in both mirrors that my car's gone in nicely, and that's it. Handbrake and neutral. Try and make sure your wheels are straight. Now, the examiner will also ask you to pull the car over on at least 3 separate occasions throughout your test. That is the end of the mock test in Newcastle under Lyme. I really hope this has helped you with your driving test. If it has, give it a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe. It really helps YouTube. Share this with other people that are also learning to drive, so help me and help others. Thank you for watching. Next time, we've got a mock test in Stafford.